Alright, so here's the conversation from start to finish between me and Maureen. And the doctor was standing right there, the social worker that was on my viral video, the tall, skinny white girl with the brunette hair, was here. The other social worker wasn't, but Maureen was. She was here, the doctor was here, and the two police officers. One of them was the detective, the other one was a sheriff. Maureen steps in and is like, "Hey Mitch, I'm worried about you." I'm like, "I do appreciate that. However, there's no need to worry." And she's like, "Well, here's the thing. There's a little bit of some things that concern me. When I asked you a question, you got a little bit irritated." I'm like, "Yeah, to be honest with you, the question you asked about my safety, and I'll go into why in a second. The question that you asked me about my safety was a little bit, made me a little bit impatient because it was a stupid question, to be quite honest with you." And she's like, "Yeah, but what did I ask you about your safety?" I was like, "You asked me why I didn't feel safe," and I said, "Because I was sexually abused at the shelter." And I said, "I literally told you that I didn't want to go back there, and we drove to the Westerly Police Department to report it, but since I'm the victim, you and Diane didn't want to, have me go in there and go through that, so I didn't feel safe to go back, and I literally answered your question, and we were good after that. And I said I was coming here, and I love my brother Brandon, and I'm here now, and I'm good, and that cleared it up." And then she asked the same question like 2 or 3 different times. She asked the same variant of question 2 or 3 different times to try to trip me up. That's how the manipulation works. They try to trip you up. They try to get you nervous. They have the police there. They have the doctor there. I never tripped up. I said the same story 2 or 3 times, and or 3 or 4 times, because one time and another 2 or 3. So 3 or 4 times I answered the same questions the same way. And then after she stepped out with the doctor, they actually talked to my brother Brandon out back first while I was communicating with Maureen. And then the doctor came in, the social workers went outside, and that's when I took the video of myself talking to the two policemen, my brother Brandon right next to me. And yeah, just a bunch of bullshit. And then I got to the hospital, and I took a video in the ambulance as well. I told them to slow down. I told them nobody's bleeding out here. They had their lights and sirens blaring, and they were busting the speed limit. So, yeah, I told them to slow down, cut the lights, cut the sirens. They listened, they slowed down, cut the lights, cut the sirens. And then I get to the hospital, and yeah, and I started going, and I was like, "Who opened the beer?" Just to fuck with them. And they took my blood. They went to go take my blood pressure, and I fucking went into shock, and I blocked out for several hours, and I just said a bunch of things. One of the things I remember saying though is I said I don't see what I'm doing wrong here. I said I have the ability to date a woman police officer. I'm like, a strong woman is gentle, beautiful, takes care of herself, and takes care of business. And I said, you guys are weak women. That's why you work here. And I'm like, you're not a woman police officer is not allowed to date a civilian, but they would make exceptions for me. And I said, I have a broken heart right now due to what you guys are doing to me. And I said, I know how to fix my broken heart. You got to fix it with love. And I said, I'm going to get a good position and get a strong woman, and I want to settle down, and I want to retire, and I want to have a couple kids, 1 or 2, and then I want to settle down. And then the doctor talked to me, answered the questions with flying colors, proved that I was safe, proved what I was doing, proved my resume, proved that I knew the right thing to do. And spoke from my heart. He asked me, why I loved life. I said, because it's beautiful. He's like, tell me more. I was like, well, I have a very large skill set. I said, I'm proud of myself. I said, I work hard every day. I go for walks every day. I take care of myself. I'm a very beautiful and gentle individual, and I'm proud of all that. Left it like that. Got out the same night, and here we are. Today I replicated the investigation that went on at the beginning of this year. It started on December 23rd of 2024. It is now December 2nd of 2025. So nearly a year later, I was strong enough to replicate the investigation that happened at 1543 Main Street. So that was quite fucking cool, man. I've made a lot of progress here, and I'm super proud of what I'm doing here. So when I wake up in the morning, I gotta get a ride from Morene, and if she forces me to take medication, I'm just gonna dilute it with water. You can't control how much water I intake. So she forces me to take medication. Fuck it, dude. You know, I'll just take it, and then that's another reason to put her away. As soon as I become a state policeman, I'll put her away. I'll put the detective away too that I questioned today, and I'll screen record the video and go over how I caught him in a lie, show how he didn't care, show how he didn't stand up for me, and then he should have understood where I was coming from, because I was acting like a victim. Cops are victims too. That's why they get passionate about their work the way they do. And he chose to abuse me regardless. But I'll go over that story with the detective in a few minutes in a separate video, so stay tuned for that.